everyone, EPIC here, and today I thought I would play this visual novel, a free visual novel called Trick and Treat. Well, this visual novel actually has long been released last year in early 2016, but that was released on GameJot, okay, an indie game website, and then this was then released on Steam about 2 months ago, a few days before Christmas. So I only happened to stumble onto this, and I've seen pretty positive reviews on Steam, so I would like to, check this visual novel out. Now, what I'm going to do here will probably be a bit different from other playthroughs in that one thing is that I'm playing this completely blind, and I've also read that there are several endings, so I'm going to just YOLO and try to get the true ending if possible. Right, so it's one shot, it's just one shot. I'm going to do this one shot challenge, see if I can get the true ending. So let's start this game. Okay, the sound of our steps combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animal is the only thing we can hear. It's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the light or sky from the moon. Our flashlights are the only things that light up our way. Oh, it's so... At times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys bored with our lives, trying to create a lasting memory on this night instead of just staying home doing nothing. So I see these boys are being very adventurous. They are not scared of horror and all that sort of shit. Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. 3 young men walk through a dark, but up until now, nothing special for us, me being one of them. We are doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. For a moment I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 AM. Oh, that late? Why are you doing so late? At night? That means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. I'm sure that many people would find a place like this terrifying. I sure as hell wouldn't come to here on my own, or even with a group of friends. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. Really, doesn't look normal at any rate. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What is the point of being here? Clearly we had already demonstrated what we wanted. Precisely. What are y'all doing? Who are you trying to prove, anyway? It would be best to return. I should tell them, yeah, let's return. And then, the end. I'm a coward. But, well, the game wouldn't be fun that way, right? I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest becomes strange. Suddenly, a cold chill runs through my body. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from 1 second to the other. So much so, my breath becomes visible, turning into mist. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, just a little short from being unbearable. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. What's happening? I guess this is us? Acer? Okay? I asked, confused while turning to look at my friends. By the expression on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. Oh. Okay, getting spooky now. It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless, like statues, without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What was happening? As if I could know. We heard the steps again. They clearly belong to a human, or at least to a large animal, but there is something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Damn! Why is this happening? It makes no sense! We should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. What is it? My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. Like seriously, get out of there, run! But strangely, my friends seemed unable to perceive it. I was shocked from the fear that frozen in place, can't move the feet. Frozen in fear. It seems that it's gone. It must have been just an animal, said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief. However, bad luck would soon strike us again. Okay. Unexpectedly, the forest becomes darker than before in just the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights which went out. Oh no. Of the three, only one, mine, was still working. What's going on? Did the batteries die? Asked one of them scared, while they both beat them desperately, as if that was going to revive them. I can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to death. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. We continue walking despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we were walking back looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it until it is too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of it. What's going on? Suddenly, my thoughts are silenced. We hear the footsteps of someone or something. Once more, the three of us become statues awaiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Boom, 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 boom. Damn! Get away from there and leave us alone! Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I can't stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlight everywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps, hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing, nothing, nothing! Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but for a moment, the light revealed something. Quickly, I point to the same place, only to discover it was gone. Is it a ghost? I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. It was then that I hear something nearby. Without even thinking, I aim the light towards that place. What is it? Come on. What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on our faces. A cat? That doesn't look bad. Yeah, it's just a cat. It's just a white cat with red eyes. It's a white cat with eyes of an intense red, which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Oops, suddenly she lets out a thunderous meow, meow, that leaves us terrified. It sounded more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of a meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Oh, what the hell happened? I fall to the ground, and little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. No! Ah! I lose consciousness on the ground of the forest without knowing what was going to happen with me. Interlude before night falls. Okay, so we'll flashback. Okay. So is that what we saw just now? Is that like a bad ad or something like that? Okay, but anyway, we are getting a flashback, alright. It is a day like any other, so normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. Far were the memories when I was a kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least seems like that. Yeah, you know, sometimes how you wish to, remain as a child, and not become an adult, forever remain as a child, don't grow up. Yeah, those were the days, There were some who had good costumes, whether of superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. I remember that my mother once painted red my face and told me, "You will be the devil." But it seems only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. Okay. But those things didn't matter to me since we always had a good time. If I asked for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. Oops. Okay. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality, we are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to a disco. Oh, not old enough. I guess you need to be at least 18 years old. Well, but you can always, cheat. And I doubt guys as us will have any luck in that environment. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. Everything perfect, except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. Hey Axel, let's have a couple matches. What do you say? My friend Steven caught my attention while playing with the game console. Stay at home, no girls, yeah. Rush rate. I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I would normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now, I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring! The AI is no rival for me, Steven said with confidence. That you're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. Yeah, you should play hard, man. Play the hardest difficulty. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge Alfred, I said, leading the attention to my other friend. I don't know how to play that, answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He's sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he's in Wikipedia. Okay. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. He is one of those pseudo-intellectuals always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. Well, that's some poetry right there. Very complicated. Very deep, he added later. What are you talking about? This village is small and the story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred laughs mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact that it's a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place, Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. There is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then that I noticed that it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Come on, read this and learn a little, Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Stephen and I moved closer to read it. Okay, so something about disappearance. Town of Abington, Oxfordshire County, 1994. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. Truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I've seen thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes. Some difficult to solve, but all of them were human. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that they are people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. Okay. Let me just check something. Okay, this is the transition. Bad. I was caught for the disappearance of the man named Matthew Graham, 23 years, singer. The last time he was seen when he was returning home. The last time he was seen was when he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drunk alcohol but was still sober. At least that's what witnesses said. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oakwood. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. We could easily find his traces which were leading deep inside the forest. Apparently he walked for 3 hours before stopping. I say stop, but the truth is we don't know what happened then. The tracks suddenly ended up in the clearing in the forest, and that's all. There was no evidence of struggle, no other trace or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, anything else. The depth of his last footprints and the position they were in indicated that he was still walking. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all his clothes in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing, but I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the footprints, I sensed a faint smell of rot. However, there were no animal corpses nearby. It is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and became earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days, just like that. So, declared missing, something like that. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything, but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more to do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories. Like maybe everything was a plan developed by Matthew, but in the end they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on the issue. I searched the town for similar stories, and to my surprise, I found 4 more, all young men. The story was always the same. They walked into the forest alone, disappearing without trace. So that actually prompted those 3 boys to actually go into the forest and disappear themselves. Why did they even take such a risk? Oh man. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same day, October 31st, Halloween. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there is a killer or kidnapper behind this, and that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon disappeared in 1924. Michelle Smith disappeared in 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And the worst of all, Oswald Taylor disappeared in 1707. And soon to be, Ixer and his friends disappeared in 2017. Well, that's if you don't get the true end but the bad end anyway. It simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be the past of the forest. It was then when I discovered that what seemed to be a simple and boring forest actually hid a great story. Before it was called Oakwood or Oaks Forest, the place was called Witchwood. Witchwood, okay, so something like witches and all that. The word witch has huge similarity with witch. There you go. Taking into consideration that it is an old name and language changes over time, that indicates that it was the forest of witches. Apparently, more than 400 years ago, the people of the village believed witches lived in the woods. Unfortunately, almost all the information is already lost. There were stories told in voice, without a properly written record. I just know that with the change of religion to Christian, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. Apparently, the last one before her death cast a curse on the forest, which even today should continue to exist. Oh, the curse to make people disappear? Anyway, obviously I cannot accept something like this as the answer. In the end, I have no other choice than accepting that each one of them escaped from the village, using the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. Okay. Interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said, honestly surprised. Even if it's a lie, it managed to hold my interest. Wait, there is something more, Alfred said. At the same time, he scrolls to the comments. We read what is written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At that time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. Oh, that creature is the cat, okay? Well, the two comments share great similarities, but they could have been written by the same person. There are many others that deny it. Looks like many people went to the forest because of the legend but couldn't find anything, so only the lucky ones will get to meet the creature and disappear. I wonder if the perpetrator behind this chooses, you know, their victims or something like that. Anyway, ... I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the curse, replied Stephen as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shake. Partly yes, he admitted it. That was a secret everybody silently knew. Well, now we have an activity for tonight, Stephen said. At the same time, he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I asked, completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Simple, let's go to that forest, Stephen replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just said. Yeah, insane, man. You only needed to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you have heard, you want to go? Of course, it'll be a test of courage among us three, replied Stephen, full of confidence. Perhaps too much. He should relax a bit. Don't tell me you're afraid? Wait, we pause first. No, why should I be afraid? Answered Alfred. At the same time, he folds his arms, making a forced gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl, okay? And what about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come, huh? Suddenly Stephen asked me, at the same time looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group? I hate that tone of voice used. I will never give you that, I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights and some food. We are going to the forest, Stephen said, full of energy. Yeah! It's going to be the biggest mistakes of their lives. We three said in unison as if we were going to have some kind of private party, not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. And now we go back to the present. 2:13 AM. Alright. So that was after we saw the cat and then got knocked out. Okay, so I guess they're still in the forest. I awake completely confused, not knowing how much time had passed. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Then I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen! Alfred! Can you guys hear me? Without thinking, I scream their names in the dark, while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there is no trace of them. They are gone. Oh no. So they become the missing victims. Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I really don't understand anything. Shit, we should have stayed at home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. Precisely. I have to find them. What awaits? 2:19 AM. We're still stuck in the forest. Little time has passed since I started to look for my friends, and I really can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is a darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong rot smell, as if there were corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest, or maybe ghost corpses or something like that. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take, it makes you more uncomfortable. And that eerie music. Since I started to look for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there is nothing. I sigh with my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. I continue walking devoid of any hope. No matter where I look or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems they are already dead and rotting. So there's this like the dead forest also. No, I have to calm myself. I said to myself. I stopped for a moment to rest. I breathe deeply, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. Immediately I start to cough, as if I had something stuck in the throat. Shit! What am I going to do? This cursed forest seems endless, and even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Stephen and Alfred. I'm really screwed up. Again I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. If I fall into despair, then there is no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decided to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good. Even if it was only to deceive myself, feeling that I am doing something, I wanted to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard. Knowing that as soon as you stop, you will be surrounded by a dead silence is a good incentive to keep walking. But my legs were already hurting. Suddenly I hear a crack at my feet and I'm going to fall, no! Okay, no. Instantly I take a step back and look below to see what made that sound. What is this? I whispered to myself, surprised, discovering that I had stepped on animal bone. Ew! Animal bone? I believe that is from an animal. Obviously, you say it's an animal bone, so obviously it's from an animal. Although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a person. But for my own good, I prefer not to think about that. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It is best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. Oh, without hesitation, I point towards there again. Oh, what is it? Is it dead? It looks dead to me. Oops. Okay, only to realize with the surprise that it's the white cat. It looks dead. Or at least I think so. The one from before which made that awful meow, but this time I find it lying on the ground. It appears to be fainted and is wounded. Oh, okay, it's just unconscious. Then what should I do? Well, so here comes my first choice. Now, like I said, I'm going YOLO here, so there is no turning back for me right here. So you know, I being the caring type, obviously I'm going to pick her up. I mean, I ain't going to ignore the cat. I ain't that cruel, even though the white cat is the one that you know, scared me in the first place. But I still cannot be that cruel. I'm going to pick her up. It is best to continue without waking her. Huh? What? Hey, hold on. Didn't I say I pick her up? Then what does this mean by it is best to continue without waking her? Hey! Hey, there's a bug. Let's go backwards. Here? Eh? Hold on a sec. I think there's a bug. Whether you ignore the cat or pick her up, I guess the choices don't matter. Is this a bug or something? Because when I click ignore the cat, it says it's best to continue without waking her. But when I choose pick her up, it's still the same. It's best to continue without waking her. What? You cheat my feelings! So this isn't even a choice at all? Oh well, anyway. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. But even knowing that, for some strange reason, I can't help but feel sorry for her. Oh, okay. So maybe, whichever choice you choose, maybe the first two lines are the same. It's just from the third line onwards, it's going to be different. So anyway, I choose pick the cat. Alright, let's go. So yeah, I can't help but feel sorry for her. I mean, even though it's a cat that scared me in the first place, caused my friends to disappear, I mean, it's still an animal. I cannot, like, you know, just abandon her. I have a very soft heart, you know. I'm soft-hearted. I have to take care of this cat, you know. I have to care for this cat. Even if it is unnatural, it is still an animal, yeah. I then bend down to see her closer. She's unconscious, and there is a thin line of blood coming from her mouth. I'm a real idiot. No, you aren't. You are a caring person, and that's what counts. I said to myself. At the same time, I cleaned the blood from her mouth with a handkerchief that I had with me. Fortunately, she doesn't wake up. I then closed her mouth, making her appearance a little better. Now she seemed to be peacefully sleeping. So, did we pick her up? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so maybe... Oh, I am not sure, but I guess none of the choices matter, but... Okay, there we go. After a long sigh, I decide to pick her up carefully. Alright, there we go, we picked her up. There we go. That's the spirit elixir. I don't know what the powers of this cat are, but if she brought me here, maybe she can return me to my world. With her in my arms, I decide that the best thing I can do is to continue walking. Alright, 2:31 AM, and we didn't even get to sleep. I mean, aren't I sleepy? I mean, it's freaking 2:31 AM in the morning. Like, doesn't this guy feel sleepy at all? But anyway, again I find myself in the dark forest walking aimlessly with the cat in my hands, only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. In my arms I carry the cat, which sleeps soundly. Come here, here you'll be safe. Who's that? Who's that mysterious voice? I suddenly stopped. It was probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again. What voice? Oh. Did I actually hear a voice before? Not that I remember, but anyway. I whispered to myself, with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. Okay. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy? Or is it this forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know. But I don't like any of the two options. I then feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her confused, just to see how she opens her red eyes suddenly. Alright, I become quiet at that instant. For a moment, the two stayed motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but also there is something fascinating about them, something that attracts me. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized, Till suddenly she jumps with the intention of scratching my face. No! I took care of you and this is how you treat me, you stupid cat. No! My reflex is pushing her at the same time and jump back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I managed to dodge her attack, but in the process I dropped my flashlight. I panicked and acted clumsily. The flashlight falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as it left my hands, I remember how dense this abnormal darkness is. I quickly pick it up, not even thinking before taking action. And I then light the place where the cat was, only to discover she had arched her body angrily, as if she feared an attack from me. Come on, come down, kitty. Those red eyes stare at me, shining with the light of the flashlight as if they were jewels, reflecting a fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. Why do you hate me so much, kitty? My body freezes after seeing them. I can't even think. Not again! Not again! The cat then lets out a thunderous meow, similar to the one before but weaker, although not any less frightening. There is no doubt, there is something wrong with that animal. It must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be some kind of evil spirit, a pet of the witches. I feel how panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry, and my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? Okay. Now it gets a bit more difficult. Escape from the cat or confront the cat. Well, let me see. Well, now that the cat has, treated me so badly, but I still want to take care of the cat. But I also kind of think that if I confront the cat, it'll be game over. Should I confront the cat? I have a feeling I might get a game over. Well, you only live once, so YOLO, let's confront the cat. No, I should not despair. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. With that in mind, I take a breath deep and look again at her. Soon, the expression in my eyes changes from fear to courage and bravery. I realize it is only a cat, without a doubt a strange one, but my life is not actually in danger. Precisely, it's just a cat, Don't be scared. It's not frightening at all, Yeah, that isn't a tiger staring at me, but a simple cat. Apparently her only power are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have already done it. So I rule out that possibility. Her work must be transporting the next victim to this area of the forest, so unnatural and shady. After filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Here we go. Her meows get louder with every step, but I don't let them scare me. See, there we go, we conquered the cat. Seeing that I do not turn back, she shyly takes a step back. See, now we have taken control of the situation, oh yeah. In my mind, I smiled at that image. The prey is now the hunter. I look at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weaker, as if she was losing strength. Then I suddenly jump and take her in my hands. She hardly resists at all. Not so tough now, right? You look better like this. She's trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless that I almost feel like a villain. But I must not forget all that she has done so far. It's her fault that I am in this place. She brought me here. Then if I kill her, would it be possible to go back? I don't think you want to do that though. For a moment that grim idea crossed my mind. I had never killed an animal. Truth is that I can't be proud of myself doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe this legend could end here and now. No, if you do that, you're gonna die. I'm very sure of it. Then what should I do? No, I'm gonna keep her captured. I ain't gonna kill her. I think it's going to be a death flag if I kill her. So I'm just gonna keep her captured. It is only logical. The magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. If I kill her, everything will be over tonight and the legend will come to an end. Confident that it was for the best, I try to view it in my mind. But no matter how hard I force myself to see it, In the end, I am unable to take the life of another living being. Even if it is a cursed cat serving a witch, I don't feel good killing her. I think I'm too nice for my own good, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being too nice. So the only thing that remains is to keep her with me, hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. With nothing more to think about, I decide the best thing to do is to continue my path.